Hey guys, welcome back. So today I created this dark, dramatic, smoky eye look with some spidery lashes and some shiny lips. And if you want to see how I created it, keep watching. I'm sorry, but I have to do it. So I'm overall doing more of like a cool tone smoky look today. So I've already gone in and laid down Omega by MAC as my transition. I use that for part of my nose contour and to start my eyebrows. So just to tie everything in together, I already used that as my transition. And now I'm gonna go ahead and build up androgyny in my crease and kind of blow that out into my transition area. Now, allegedly, spring is here, but here in Northeast Ohio, we haven't seen any spring yet. And I'm sure that everybody is more interested in more like springtime kind of makeup tutorials right now, but honestly, with it still being full-on winter, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep things a little bit more dark and smoky. And honestly, I feel like I'm gonna go more like anti-spring and summer makeup looks anyway. It seems like a lot of palettes are coming out right now that have more of that springtime kind of theme. And honestly, to me, they all kind of look the same. Everything is like mostly neutrals with a pop of like a pool blue or like a sky blue or like a shimmery blue or something like that. I feel like for me, taking a shimmery blue, throwing it into a palette with a bunch of mostly neutral tones and calling it a summertime collection, for me is just too expected. I would actually rather see something that's more like a coral kind of color with an acid green shift, you know what I mean? Something that's just like a little bit different and a little bit unexpected. And then building up androgyny even more in the socket here, and build that up underneath the eye as well. And then with the same brush, going in with Intravenous from the Blood Sugar palette, just to add a little bit of like that reddish brown kind of tone into the socket. This color is probably the one that I use the most from this palette. I've used this one so much, and I've used it with warm looks, I've used it with cool looks. I've used this one pretty much with everything, and it's just a really good kind of reddish brown. I'm a big fan of it. And again, since it has like that really interesting, almost purpley undertone, it just kind of works well with any look. And the Blood Sugar palette itself, it's like a really good collector's palette, and I'm glad that I got it. But at the same time, I don't really reach for it as much as I thought that I would. The colors that I find myself gravitating towards in this palette are the ones that are a little bit more on like the brown side, which is again why I think that, you know, releasing all of these shades in single shadows would be awesome, because then you could build your own palette. I feel like I probably said this before, I'm gonna say it again. I really would love to see Jeffree Star's take on a neutral eyeshadow palette. Something that was a little bit more like the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. Like, I would really love to see what his take on that kind of color story would be. See, I just love the way the Intravenous and Androgyny work together. I think that that color combination is just so awesome. And then using that same brush, I'm gonna dip into Vanity from the Beauty Killer palette, and I'm just gonna continue to build up the darkness. Now what I'm doing is more of like that classic graduated smoky eye, where the closer I get to my lash line, the darker these tones are gonna get, and they're actually gonna get a little bit cooler toned as I get towards my lash line here. I just think this one works really well if you wanna add some depth and you wanna add some dimension to any kind of eye look without using a black shadow, which could start to make things look a little bit muddy. And I am gonna use a black today, but again, I'm gonna keep that super, super, super close to the lash line. And then switching over to a Morphe M507 to bring this color a little closer into the lash line. Yeah, today's look is another case of I did this look yesterday and really liked the way that it turned out. So I wanted to go ahead and recreate it for my channel, but just kind of do a little bit of a different take on it. I actually wanted to go even a little bit darker with it today than I did yesterday. So And it was pretty dark and pretty smoked out yesterday, so I can't wait to see how this turns out in the end today. Now to start building up some actual black and some really dark intensity into this eye look, I'm going to go into my waterline with this Maybelline Lasting Drama waterproof gel pencil in the color Black Onyx. Now this is just such a great affordable alternative to the Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. This one I've used on my channel before. I've talked about this one a few times. It's so black, it's so rich. I will have had this stuff on my waterline for like 13, 14 hours and it still hasn't budged. It's still black. It hasn't chunked off anywhere. Like it stays perfectly on your waterline. I just really love this pencil and it only costs a couple bucks. Now again, I'm really new to drugstore makeup as a whole, so I'm like, you know, still kind of learning. I'm still discovering new brands and I'm still discovering new products that I like. But I will say that as far as like all of the Maybelline stuff that I've tried so far, I love all of it. But with that said, I do have to talk about this product for a minute. Now, this is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Translucent Powder. So here's how this compact works. So you've got to open this thing up, which is fine. Open it up, you get your powder on top. Now you've got to flip this up to get your sponge, flip it back down to get your powder, and then flip it back up to look in the mirror. For me, I feel like it's just like a lot of dicking around with the compact just to like, you know, do I need a mirror? No. But since they included a mirror in this compact, I just think it's a really weird design. I just think it's really strange for the mirror to be underneath here. Again, does that make sense? I don't know. I just think the design on this is really, really stupid. But the product itself, the powder in it, I think works really, really well. And it's $5, so I will definitely continue to repurchase this one. So back into the Beauty Killer palette, we're gonna take Black Rainbow on that same Morphe M507. I want to keep the black shadow just really kind of smoking into the lash line. I am going to blend this out onto the lid a little bit, but I'm going to keep it really low and I don't want to take that up into the crease because I'm not really going for a full black smoky eye, but I really just want to have this on there for that depth and for that dimension and to just really darken up my lash line. So that way when I go in with some false lashes in a little bit, I don't have to use a liquid liner to like conceal the band of the lashes because there will just be enough black shadow there that I don't have to do that. And since underneath the eyes, I want to keep that black really tight to the lash line, I'm taking Black Rainbow on a Morphe E36 and just really kind of smoking out the eyeliner from my waterline and just kind of like pushing that into the roots of the lashes. Build up a tiny bit more black up top. Barely kind of blending that up a little bit. And even if it's not completely blended out, if there are any inconsistencies in the blend here, since I'm gonna have some really thick lashes on, it's not gonna matter. And then to add some contrast to the dark matte eye look that I have going on today, I'm gonna go ahead in with Frosting from the Androgyny palette to use as my inner corner highlight and my cheekbone highlight. And I'm not sure how well this one reads on camera either. It was a cheekbone highlight, but this is one that in real life I think is really damn pretty. And this one is very, very similar to the shade Summer Snow Cone, which is a Skin Frost from Jeffree Star. I might actually dip into that shade. Yeah, that definitely gives that a little bit more pop. Yeah, screw it. I'll just go ahead and pop that right there in my inner corner too. Okay, so lashes are curled and blackened. Now, I'm pretty new to the world of false lashes. I never really used them a whole lot, but the more I started to use them, the more that I realized that especially for like video purposes, I think they just add a lot to a look. And even in real life, doing like a really dark, intense smoky eye like this, I think it just takes it to the next level, and I think it does look really, really cool. So the more I've used false lashes, the more I've become comfortable with them, and since I've gotten kind of comfortable comfortable with them, I thought I would go ahead and spend a few more dollars and get a really decent pair. So what I did is I did a lot of research online and I really narrowed it down to a specific pair that I wanted, which ended up being the velour silk lashes in the style Fluff'n Wispy. And so what I did was I bought them, I kind of like put them on my eye, I trimmed them down just so that they would fit my eyes a little bit better. And then when I wore them the first time, realized that maybe they were still just like a little bit too long. I felt like they kind of made my eyes look a little bit droopy at the outer edges. And so I ended up taking them off and trimming just a little bit more of them off. And then I ended up feeling like I cut a little bit too much off of them, and I ended up just kind of making them a little bit shorter than I really wanted them. So I did end up going and buying another pair. And what I want to do is I think I want to go ahead and try them on at their full length and just see. I mean, I'd rather kind of wear them a couple times and know that they're a little bit too droopy or a little bit too much, and then go in and kind of cut down a tiny bit more and then see how that works. And, you know, instead of just kind of overdoing it the way that I did with my first pair. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna cut down just the little like nubs off of the end of them. Like that little piece that just kind of like sticks off the end there. So Bitsy keeps jumping down off the bed and she wants to help me put on my lashes today. So Bitsy, do you want to put some lashes on? Want to put some lashes on you? Yeah, you want to put some lashes on you? But I will say that for as like big and draggy and for as fluffy and as obnoxious as these ones are, these are the most comfortable lashes I've ever worn. I also got the Brush On Velour Lash Glue in the black color. And I also picked up a lash applicator from MAC. And this, I think, made all the difference in applying lashes. I just feel like this makes it so much easier to get those lashes so close to the lash line. But yeah, so I'm gonna start. I just kind of wanna set that on there for a second just to see. Yeah, so at the risk of looking a little bit droopy on the edges there, I'm gonna go ahead and just put this entire thing on there without trimming any of it. God damn it. All right, I have to do this off camera. There's no way this is happening on camera. So do you know why you never see anybody put their lashes on camera? Because it can't be done. Isn't that right, Bitsy? They're definitely comfortable. I think I just need to wear these lashes a few more times and really get the hang of applying them. But I don't think that they look droopy. I think that they're like a good size for my eye. And I think that with a really smoky look like this, I just think they really do amp it up. And I think they do take a look like this to that next level. So I'm a pretty big fan of it. So the last thing that I want to talk about today is this limited edition lip gloss from MAC. Now Soar is one of my favorite lip pencils. It's what I'm wearing right now. But they came out, when they reformulated their lip gloss last year, they came out with Soar in a lip gloss form. But the thing is, it sold out like the day of. Like I never even got to get my hands on this. Like it was just sold out immediately the day that it went on sale. So when they launched their glitters the other day, they also came out with a bunch of lip gloss shades. A couple of them were limited edition and the rest of them are going to be permanent. Well, of course, Soar is one of the limited edition shades. So I ended up picking up 2 of them. I had some empties for back to MAC, so I got 2 of them for free. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop a little bit of that on. I probably shouldn't use this one too much because since it's limited edition and probably sold out already, I won't be able to get any more of it. What is it with all of the good stuff being either limited edition or just taken away from us? Make this a permanent shade in your collection, MAC. What is wrong with you? So that's gonna be it for today's look. If you like this look and you wanna see more, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscription button down below. Be sure to tell all your friends about it so they know to watch. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Everybody can see your boobies.